let's go out to California and speak with Garo. Garo, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
I'm very good, sir. How about you, sir?
Very good. Thanks so much for asking. And Square is the target of the call today. Tell us what you're doing, how I can help you.
I think, of course, I think that this is going to be a pullback on Square. I need your opinion, of course. Either on a weekly chart towards $51, 50 or 51, which is the 21-day simple moving average on weekly.
Yes.
Or this is consolidating, and this is going to roll up and go up from here to a new high. And my new high, the first one is 64.38, and the next one is 65.99.
Okay.
What is your idea?
So with regard to Square, and I'm taking a look at, so we've got the daily chart up on our screen, and for those folks that are listening, and this chart here has the Garo set of tools, a parabolic SAR that he uses. Those are the blue dots on my screen, and then the four different moving average, simple moving averages that Garo uses: 5, 21, 50, 200. He's a master at this, and I suggest that you check out his screen with those sets of tools on there as well. First, I'm going to start with a weekly time frame chart for you, and because you mentioned a pullback to 51, and the first level that I would need to see pierced would be 57.35. On a weekly time frame, what Square is doing, it continues to move higher and does so with less relative energy, but that alone is not a means you've got to, that it's a sell. Just means that it doesn't have the type of energy that you'd like to see, and just says caution. That's all. Just caution. A pullback to 57.35 on this, would be a natural buying area. But there's nothing here on the weekly chart that says that that's what it wants to do. Just want to get the bigger picture in my mind before I answer your question. I'm going to look at the monthly chart is also beginning to rise with less relative energy. So let me come take a look at the daily time frame. And what is the daily doing? And if we take a look at the daily, what price did yesterday, even though it was a bearish reversal candle, a bear sash, all it did was test Stevie's red line. It needed follow through today, Garo, in my book, which would have been a close at least under 60.73 in order to say that, okay, it's ready to short. I know the parabolic SARs gave that message a couple of days ago, but right now I see this as only coming back to support. Let's assume that the parabolic SAR dots are more accurate than what I'm taking a look at. Then I would say as a target, my first target, probably right around where you're taking a look at, would be the level of the swing or the candle session from May 19th. That low is $53. Not too far from your 51. But I would also need to see it close below my red line value, because otherwise this still has a rising price oscillator above zero. And the only way I can make that call is it's still bullish as of 1:24 in the afternoon.
Yes, I agree with you. This is not a short at all. This is just a small pullback. It may or it may not.
That's right.
Yeah, but how far that pullback is going to go up? Is this today's the last day? From Monday, this is going to shoot up, or if it pulls back, you're thinking that's going to go to $53?
If it did, it had to go. The charts do not suggest that that's what it's going to do. Okay, so my charts do not say that it wants to do that. But you had mentioned, hey, okay, maybe this is going to pull back to the 51. In order for that to happen, I had to give you what I would need to see on my charting system in order for that to occur. What we know is that 2 days ago it made a high with 8.6 million shares. You're pushing into that level today with 6 million shares already. It's pushing highs with volume. And yes, it was 14 million. It's moving sideways. Right now, it's just consolidating out here.
It's sideways. That's right. It's not a pullback. But I wonder how far is this. At what price would you buy it if you want to go long? Would you buy it here, or you would wait and you see that if it goes a little bit lower?
I'd wait. I wouldn't buy it here at 61.78. I might consider buying it if it closed over 62.14. And
Yeah.
where would I buy it? I would buy it at 56.58 as we speak right now. That would be the level that I would be looking at to hold their support. I'd want to make sure it wasn't barreling down into that with volume, though. But I think that Square has a to B equals CD pattern on a weekly chart that should take it into the 68.04 level over time. So I think it still wants to move higher.
Yes, over time, yeah. Where do you think it's going to break out?
Oh, I don't. Hey, Garo, we're just going to a hard break. Just hang on. We'll try to answer that question when we come right back. And then we'll go to Scott in Colorado Springs and take a look at Facebook. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Folks, we're taking a look at Square with our good friend Garo in California, and the last question was, where do I think it will break out, or maybe what's the signal that would be ready to break out and continue it, move to higher price out here? And Garo, on my chart that I'm showing you right now, I'm pointing to a market profile that formed on between April 30th and May 15th, and what that has in common with the current box out here is that it was bearish in structure. And what I mean by that is the center line or point of control where both buyers and sellers are most comfortable with price was closer to the top of the box than the bottom. This says that this is where sellers are lined up in that center to the top of the box. And when they get overrun, that's when you can say, okay, you have a breakout signal. Since we have, in essence, the same structure of a box, that's going to be my answer, that 62.14 level that I gave you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put price back on the screen so that we can see what happened back here. And on the trading day of May 2nd, price closed above that level. And in essence, other than a pullback intraday on the following day, price took off from there. It broke a strong level of resistance out here. So we don't really have any of this left side resistance to really stop things from continuing to move higher. And I would say you would either be a buyer at 56.58. Check back with me, though, if it gets down there. I would like to see what happened on a weekly time frame chart, or a close above the top of that box at 62.14. That's what I see. That would be the pattern that would be worth noting out here.
I see. I have 62.25.
Okay.
Yeah, 62.25. That's where I'm going to buy it. I don't think it's going to go to 63 or 62 or 50 or 57. None of this. It's going to go sideways, maybe a day or two. But my order is going to go on 62.25. I was going to. So yours is 62.13.
Yeah, 62.14. But let's not squibble over 11 pennies out here. I like it. I think you very well may be right. And if it does pull back, it very likely is the buy point out here. So that's what I look at. And so you have two different systems. And in essence, we are in 11 cents of each other with regard to when the buy signal, the breakout would be. I love that. It'll make me sleep easier tonight.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Thanks so much.
You too as well. You too. That was Garo in California. Let's go out to Colorado.